33 minutes after the hour, Michael Patrick Shields. We've got Lloyd Carr coming up shortly. He's going in the Hall of Fame. We'll have to call him a Hall of Fame college football coach going forward from the University of Michigan. And then from Michigan State, Tom Izzo will be with us. He played Augusta National last week. We want to hear what that experience was like. Indeed, a couple legislators coming soon. And also, what lessons can Detroit learn from Grand Rapids? That'll be the question we'll be discussing in the 8 o'clock hour. Does Detroit have to look to the little brother, Grand Rapids, for advice on how to get its ducks in a row and how to move forward? It is Michael Patrick Shields. I was with Matthew Stafford, the Lions quarterback, yesterday in Grand Rapids. There was a big event at the Ford Fieldhouse downtown. It was a private event for high school. Well, no, they were grade school kids, I guess, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, something like that. And so there was a field house full of kids, and Matthew Stafford from the Detroit Lions gave them a big surprise, came in there and talked about getting outside, and it was Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan that put it all together. And so I introduced Matthew Stafford, and he looks to be in good form. And little did we know that right after that session yesterday morning, he hustled back to Detroit. What for? To go to the practice field there at Country Day in Birmingham. They had a little practice, an informal get-together for the Lions, because obviously the lockout is still on, but the Lions want to keep sharp. So all four of the team's quarterbacks were there, the entire offensive line. And Stafford said his surgically repaired shoulder is getting better, and he's felt good for a while. And they're going to have some more workouts this week as the Lions are hopeful that they'll be able to have a season. But for now, in terms of labor negotiations, the lockout is going to continue for at least another month. The 8th Circuit Court of Appeals granted the NFL's owner a permanent stay. So the lockout's going to be in place until the June 3rd hearing. And then there will be arguments, and we'll see what happens. But the Lions and Matthew Stafford, who looked pretty good yesterday, I thought, are moving forward with some private practices there in the Birmingham area. I talked to him, too, about my son Harrison, because he's met him a couple of times. And he's going into Brother Rice High School, which is right down the street there from Country Day, in fact, in Birmingham. And I said, I think that we've lost him to hockey, because Brother Rice is one of the best football high schools in the state. And I said, what are we going to do? Is there anything we can do? Because he's going to play hockey instead of football, and he's been playing hockey, and he played football in 3rd and 4th grade, and I kind of want him to play football, if you know what I mean. But I'm not sure he's too keen on, 2-a-day workouts in August in the heat in the middle of his summer over there at Brother Rice. But anyway, Matthew Stafford today, I'm from Texas. We didn't really have hockey accessible to us, so I ended up being a football player. I'll let you know how that goes, because I really wanted to play football, but I don't want to force him to play football. But, I don't know. Any advice? 888-900-9966. One of the things I said is that don't forget, you can only play football till you're a senior in high school. Then you can really never play again. But hockey you can play till you're 50 years old. Some of those guys are out there on skates. So think about that. You only got 4 more years to play that. Oprah's United Center shows are going to be the way she wraps up her career at the Oprah Winfrey Show. They're going to start taping them today, in fact. 20,000 people are going to be at these TV tapings, the final episodes of Oprah leading up to May 25th. 1,000 workers have been transforming the arena into a talk show studio, and that all happened after Sunday night's NBA game. So we're going to say goodbye to Oprah, the Space Shuttle, Larry King, and the Jerry Lewis Telethon, all in 1 year. Arnold Schwarzenegger's in some hot water. The former California governor, the actor, the bodybuilder, has acknowledged that he fathered a child with a member of his household staff. And that's a revelation that had prompted Maria Shriver apparently to leave their home before they announced the separation last week. They announced on May 9th they were splitting up after 25 years of marriage. So Shriver moved out of the family's Brentwood mansion earlier this year, as soon as Arnold told her what happened. And here's the quote. Arnold Schwarzenegger says, after leaving the governor's office, I told my wife about this event, which occurred over a decade ago. I understand the feelings of anger and disappointment among my family and friends. I deserve that. There are no excuses. I take full responsibility for the hurt I have caused. I have apologized to Maria, my children, and my family. I am truly sorry, and I ask that the media respect my wife and children through this difficult event. I deserve your attention and criticism. My family does not. So apparently there was some talk about his bad behavior, but this time it was a member of the household staff with whom Arnold Schwarzenegger fathered a child 10 years ago and 12 years ago, and so I guess that was enough for Maria Shriver to say, I'm going to take this job and shove it, the job of First Lady, but now just the wife since he's out of office. 37, make it 38 minutes after the hour right now. I might as well get those legislators on the phone, Wayne Schmidt and Frank Foster, if you can, because Ann Doyle's not there. Did we confirm that with her? That she was going to be available this morning? John Engler says he never really gave any serious consideration to the U.S. Senate race. He said that yesterday in Mount Pleasant at Bucks Run Golf Club. The speculation now is who will run, who will win the Republican nomination to run against Senator Debbie Stabenow, but it was never John Engler is what he said. He said, I can't take it off the table because it never was on the table, to tell you the truth. Over the weekend, U.S. Congressman Thaddeus McCotter, the Republican from Livonia, joined the parade of potential GOP candidates that have passed on the Senate race. He says, thank you, no thank you. So McCotter's on the sidelines. Secretary of State Terry Lynn Land on the sidelines. U.S. Congressman Pete Hoekstra said thanks, no thanks. And so now the names being circulated are the Oakland County District Judge Kimberly Small, Oakland County Water Resource Commissioner John McCullough, former Kent County Judge Randy Heckman, Tea Party favorite Peter Konecki, and then Rob Steele, who was a congressional candidate. He ran against John Dingell. Saul Anuzis, the former Republican Party chair. And there was some talk about Tim Luliette. Tim Luliette has quieted down, and Al Pease, who was with Perception Incorporated, also quieted down. So who will take the charge for the GOP and run against Senator Debbie Stabenow, who apparently has a lot of money in the bank for this re-elect campaign? Michigan's jobless rate finally expected to drop down to single digits by the end of the year. That'll be the first time since 2008. And the senior economist with the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago says we're starting to climb out of the trough. So the forecast for the unemployment rate, 9.6% by the fourth quarter of this year in the state of Michigan. What was our high? 14.1, something like that. Wayne Schmidt is on the other end of our line, the state representative from Traverse City. That'd be nice news to see that unemployment number closer to the national average of 9 instead of 14, wouldn't it, Representative Schmidt?
That would be great, Michael Patrick. Good morning, by the way.
Thank you very much for being available. Looks like the state has more money than we thought, huh?
Yeah, that's what I was told yesterday. That's good news. I'm glad to hear that. Of course, some of that comes at a price with the spike in gasoline, although it's starting to go down again. So that's a good sign for tourism up north.
That's true, isn't it? That the higher the gas price, the more money the state government takes in because there's a percentage, a tax rate on the gallon of gas?
Oh, yeah. In addition, we get the 6% on top of just the regular gas taxes. So it's a dual-edged sword. There's more revenue for state government, but people were paying up to $4.25, $4.30 a gallon, and that's that double-edged sword.
So the question is going to be
tourism. Yeah. I'd rather have it lower.
Yeah, I mean it's complicated what you guys do, isn't it? I mean, you want you one hand, it's like a big shell game with all this money, and the question it seems is going to be, do we take the money, this one-time bump as the governor calls it, and use it to mitigate the cuts in education, or do we save it for a rainy day? I think I know your answer.
It's a little of both is what's going to be my answer. A little of both. We got to work out some details, but there could be some paying down of the pension debt, which I think would help out a lot of districts. But also to smooth it out, I think we're going to need to put a little bit in the rainy day fund to make.
That's what politics is all about. Split the difference. He's Wayne Schmidt, state representative from Traverse City.